The following is a Breaks Media podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Beck Easy.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Joanne.
Hey, guys. It's Trell, and this is
ThaTeam. And we have an amazing guest today. Today's going to be a good one. Introduce yourself to the people, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole Phillips. I'm the Director of Primary Care for Planned Parenthood of Southern New England.
Yay.
Dope.
Welcome to the group
Boss.
chat.
We got
Thank
a
you
boss
so
in the
much.
building
Right.
today.
Yes.
So how was your weekend?
I have very quiet weekends because I'm in the doctorate program at Fairfield University as
yeah.
well.
You better come on.
So I spend my weekends writing papers and studying and preparing for my final project.
Nice. That's awesome. I wish I had more quiet weekends.
Honestly.
We pray for quiet weekends.
No, you guys are young. Enjoy your busy weekends.
Okay. We'll try.
I'm literally like Saturday, I'm
Sis
like,
is
I'm going to go
tired.
home. I didn't get home till like 12 o'clock at night.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be sleepy.
Right. Exactly.
I'd be thinking, how am I going to drive home?
Exactly.
Even last
night,
night,
I was like, I wish I didn't have to drive home.
like, let me Uber. How about you, Trell? How about your weekend?
I had a good weekend. Last weekend, we went to a comedy show. We supported Key Rome, Key Dollar.
The Extra
At
Yard
Toronto.
SAT program.
Yeah, it was a really simple Friday night. I don't think I did anything else
There was
really
so
that
much
weekend. I
laughter
think it
and
was
fun.
pretty chill this weekend. What did we do this weekend?
Oh, y'all went to Flan the Fling, too.
Oh, yeah, we
Yes.
had Renee's Flannel
Shout out to
Fling.
Renee,
That was
part
fun.
3.
Yeah.
Nice little vibe.
I was at work.
Grinding. Respect
getting
it.
some money. But this weekend, me and Danny went to Pour Into My Cup, the women's retreat. Shout out to Brianna Regine for having that. It was very refreshing. It was at the spa at Norwich Inn. Yeah, very nice location, very serene. It was a good time with Black women just being able to tell
back
their
in each other.
stories, shed a tear, be able to say, you know, I can relate to you. It was super dope. She had a healing counselor there, had a psychotherapist, Black woman there, just to, like, you know, if you got triggered by any part of the conversation, you were able to talk to them.
That's
It was
nice.
good.
That
It was
sounds dope. I'm mad I missed that.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
wish I was there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, yeah, you would be the perfect
Oh my
guest
gosh.
to do the health portion of it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get y'all in connection,
Right.
but it was a really good time. So that's all for me. How about you, Joanne?
Honestly, guys, I don't ever remember my weekends, and my weekends are always similar to you guys's. So,
right, we'll do the same thing.
Whatever they said we did, we did.
Yes, that's birthday.
Yeah. I'm like, what did we do Friday? I knew we did something.
We went bowling,
Yeah.
family time. So
Yeah,
cute.
that was good.
So we bowled for like 2 rounds, and then we went to the table to gossip.
And fall asleep.
Right, to catch up what's going on in our lives. We're like, oh, the kids can have our turns.
Right.
So that was cute.
That was
and
fun.
I think that's
about it.
yeah.
Saturday
That's
was pretty
good.
chill. Today's Sunday.
And it's like nice and gloomy outside. So
Yeah.
after
Definitely
naps,
comforter weather.
Yeah.
right? Chili and soup and the couch.
Yeah. So before we get into it, I got a little icebreaker. Just a couple questions to kind of like loosen up the room.
Indeed.
So the first question is.
Oh wait, we have to get our drink first.
Okay, good.
All right, so it was supposed to be summer cocktail. Now we fall.
We in,
fall,
in our
winter.
fall.
But we got
Spring.
our fall
drink series.
cups.
We do have our full mugs. So
It ain't tea,
these
though.
drinks are from Creative Cakes by Keisha. She is a baker here in Connecticut, and she's venturing off to some other enjoyable treats for the adults. So we have Henny Punch, blueberry lemonade, and pina colada. So which one you want to try?
Let me try that Henny Punch.
Okay, so you pour yourself that. What you want, Joe?
I also want the Henny Punch.
Okay.
So she brought these on my
did
birthday,
wanna try
right?
The pina colada.
She brought these to Dom's on my birthday, right? I don't remember trying them though.
We tried.
No,
them.
we tried them.
We
They were
did.
I don't
so
recall.
good. I
It was your
have
birthday though, so that's
right.
probably
I
why.
have the pina colada at home. Beck took
Is it
home.
good?
I think the
Blueberry
it is good.
lemonade.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Trell,
this-
I think you
it might
took
be strong.
either Dom
Careful.
has.
I saw it at Dom's fridge last night, so
Okay.
she got that.
good.
But I
Yeah.
don't remember tasting it. I was asleep.
All right, so I'm trying blueberry lemonade.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this Henny Punch is
You
believe
can't
it.
even
This
taste
is
the
like
liquor in
fruit
this
punch.
one.
Really good.
The pina colada. Mm-hmm. It is.
That's dangerous, though.
Right.
You
Because
can't
it
really
sneak up
tell
on
anything.
you.
Right.
It's going to sneak up on you.
Yes.
Right.
I have it in my refrigerator.
Mid
Oh, so
conversation.
you know.
You start slurring.
So yes, make sure you guys hit her up. If you're local, I'm not sure if she'll start shipping them, but they're in a cute little bottle. So shout out to her. Thank
Tastes
you
really
for the
good.
drinks.
Thanks,
really
Keisha.
good.
Yes.
All right, so icebreaker. If you could eliminate anything from your daily routine, what would it be? You can go first.
Driving.
That's a good
I
one.
want to just materialize where I'm going to be.
That's a
I
great
can't wait till that's invented.
That's
Right, me either,
actually-
because I'd be saying that every day. I wish I could just blink.
Right,
be where
and
I
get
need
to where I
be.
need
Yes.
to get.
That's a great one. I might have to agree with that. I'm always in my vehicle. Like, I realize when I'm like on the team story, like, hey y'all, it's always
Always in the
when I'm in
car.
the car.
I know.
Always, because I'm always driving somewhere.
What about you, Joe?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure, Joanne. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be?
That's a perfect one.
It's perfect.
I guess, you know what? This is going to shock you guys.
I feel like I might know. Go ahead.
I would say taking a nap.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Want to take a nap or stop taking
Stop taking naps.
Why?
it?
Separate.
Why is what's wrong with naps?
Nothing's wrong with naps. You already said driving. So I would
okay.
I would have to say nap because literally I get home around 3:30 and I can sleep till 9 o'clock,
Which is ridiculous.
which is really bad.
Do you feel like you waste your day? Like,
I think I waste my day. And it's because I lose so much energy working with children. So I want to like come home and get re-energized, but it just completely takes my whole day.
The thing is, you can need to take a nap, but it just needs to be a nap.
that's
not
like a rest. That's not a nap.
Yeah, that's a full on.
Listen,
That's all
sleep.
right. Until
Yeah,
9
6
o'clock.
hours.
That's plenty
Listen,
of.
And then what? Do you then sleep a full night?
I usually I wake up at 9 maybe or 8 and I go back to bed at 3 a.m.
Oh, okay,
So
that
it's just
makes
broken
sense.
up.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Because then you have to get up at like 6, right? To
I
get
have to
ready
get
for
up
it.
at 6:30.
but I bet
That's why you be so
if
tired.
you took a long walk after you got home from seeing the kids to de-stress, you would re-energize and then be able to make it through.
You
Change
know
your
what?
habits.
I'm gonna try that tomorrow. I'm gonna take a walk around the block.
And let the timeline know.
Yes, I'm gonna go on the story and take a walk around the block. I can't promise you after the walk.
You will still take a nap.
if I'm gonna, but I'm
Then
gonna
she'll wake up
try.
at like 4 a.m.
I'm gonna try the walk first and see how I feel.
And have a plan. Actually say, all right, when I get off of work, these are the things I'm going to
And
get
then give
done.
yourself like the time. Like
Yeah, but
you
if
said,
you
like,
take a nap, do like
set an
20
alarm.
minutes. Set your alarm so you can get up.
10 minutes.
"Hmm."
At least like I was thinking 2
No,
hours.
20. I was
2
saying 20.
hours.
Like a power nap. But that's if you got something else to do.
2 hours is not a power nap.
Yeah, I think so.
Listen,
For me, after 2 hours, I'm like, I just want to stay in the bed.
Yeah,
It's hard to get up
so
after
you can
that.
just imagine
That's
four.
a good point.
I can.
That's a good point.
Right.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I would say work.
Honestly.
Of course.
My 9 to 5. I can get rid of that.
I've got it. Snaps and
Yes,
clubs.
yes.
right.
Snaps
Snap
and
it
but
up.
I love
Yeah.
my job.
I do love my job, but I want to be independently wealthy and free and
Exactly.
travel.
So giving up the job and then focusing on how I'm going to be independently wealthy.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. Good point.
My
Very
other
good
one
point.
is, this kind of ties into what Joe said. Would you rather have more time or more money? I say more money.
More money
because-
buys you more time.
Exactly.
just was about to
Because it
Exactly.
frees up your time. You just
Exactly.
like we just
Yeah.
If I have more money, I don't have to work.
You know
Which
those-
eliminates those 40 hours in the week automatically.
Right.
And those people who wake up and they're like, "Oh, I just made $30,000." Like
Right.
they have passive income.
Mm-hmm. That's what I need.
That
need all
buys
that
them more
energy.
time.
And then you could buy like extra help.
Right.
That saves time. You could buy somebody
nanny,
else
a chef.
cook for you. You
Things
gotta
that
cook.
all these little chores. No, your assistant will do all
Do
these
it.
little
Right.
chores because
Yep.
you have all this passive income.
So we on the same
We
page.
all on
there.
the same page. I literally was going to say exactly what she said.
All right, last question. What's something that you used to do as a child that you don't do anymore or that you don't do as often?
rollerblade. I don't do it anymore.
Rollerblade.
Yeah. Oh my God. Everywhere I went, it was on rollerblades when I was a child. To the store, I would hop out my rollerblades, go into the store, have my shoes, like rollerblading.
I used to skate, but I never was a big fan
But
of
when
rollerblading.
I broke my leg, I was like, yeah, I'm not going back on rollerblades. But rollerblading is definitely one thing that I miss.
You should start that rollerblade around the block tomorrow.
Are you afraid to rollerblade now, or
No, I'm not afraid, but life is different after you break a bone. Like, I even walk different. I run
I agree with
different.
that.
I stand different. It's just, life is just different.
I agree with that. I've been
That's
there.
true. That's true. I used to have a lisp when I was a kid, so I used to always talk like this, and it just went away. So I don't have it anymore. But I'm happy about that. Now I'm like, oh, it was cute, but
Nah.
it wouldn't be cute as
I mean,
an
that's
adult.
dope.
Yeah,
Right.
Nah.
I used to write poetry.
Oh.
That
write
ties
poetry,
into
and I miss
mine,
that.
actually, because I used to write poetry. I used to write plays and everything. I haven't done that in forever, though. But I used to write plays, and I used to write poetry, and I used to write songs.
Oh, word.
Maybe you can write my
Not
reading
plays, but songs too.
Mm-hmm.
I used to write a lot of raps.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got bars?
Yeah. I used to. I did. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you remember one?
She knows it.
It's on the tip of her tongue.
Like,
Yeah, that's okay.
Hippocrates is a hypocrisy, and they can't see the forest for the trees.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enlightened one.
That's so cute.
That was one
That
of
was
mine.
good. That was a
That's
nice
one of my
icebreaker.
favorite ones.
That was
Like,
good.
mic check. What was your rapper name?
Uh,
Or you didn't have a name?
Oh, I
you just
did.
wrote it-
Oh, okay. Let us know.
Dark chocolate.
Oh, let us know.
And my poet name was Voluptuous Vixen.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
You better come on.
Right.
Yeah, I used to
So
spit
we're gonna have
poetry
a
back in the
spoken
day.
word event. We're gonna make sure we
Yes,
invite you.
That'll be dope. That'll be dope. So thank you.
That
That
was
was
good.
cute. That was a nice icebreaker. So Joe, since we have a rapper in the building,
Right.
No,
Do
and
you have our drop that line?
I do, but I didn't pick a rap song. I figured I'm gonna keep it like oldies.
Okay.
Keep it cute.
That's a
So
vibe.
let me tell you a little story about last week. Last week I think I had a heartbreaker, and one of my friends was like, why you spoke this into existence, because they had like a little situation. And I'm like, as of recently, I've really been speaking things into existence.
Well, speak something good, please.
That's what I said. I said, I'm
That's
going to
true.
stop saying like, stop speaking negative things into guys' lives, and stop saying Negroes ain't right? Because I want to say positive things about them, so they'll come forward.
So they
that
can
will
be-
come forward.
right.
Because you
So they can be
yeah,
it.
you've been with
Right.
money.
So I don't. Yeah, so I'm gonna just play this. It's actually the instrumental.
Okay. Is it Boys to Men?
No, I'm gonna.
It's
let
a
it
guy group though.
No,
Let it play. Let it
No.
play. Is it individual or is it a group?
it's one person.
I want to be your man.
No.
It sounds like it's a.
Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
Breathe again.
Yes.
Not bad.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, I hear it.
We about to breathe again. All right, I got you.
Right. That was good. That was good.
I was hearing. I want to be your.
I heard that a little bit too. I can hear that a little bit too.
That was good. Yeah. 'cause
The
you
undertone.
can smell it, yeah. She actually posted a picture a few days ago.
She did.
And with her 2 Grammys saying, 20 years ago this happened. Or I got
She
these babies or
did.
something
And
like that.
Beyonce was her for Halloween last year.
Yeah,
Mhm. She
took
nailed
that
it.
She did.
Yeah.
She nailed it.
Breathe again.
That was good.
Na, na, na.
That was one of my
lit.
favorite albums ever.
And I just can't.
Oh,
She's a legend.
that
Cheers.
and Brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
oh my
love
God.
Brandy as a
I
kid.
find myself recently just singing like random Brandy songs. She was like my little idol.
She was my favorite as a
Dark
child. I
skin
loved her.
with braids.
Right. Like she just like set the tone. Because you had Monica too.
Right.
Around that time, the light skinned did,
Right.
blah, blah. But she definitely was
She
killing
looked
it.
more like me.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
you embraced her.
That's
thank
good. I
you,
like
Joe.
the old school vibe. Keep
Yeah.
that
Right,
going.
because old school R&B, we gonna
It's your
get
thing,
it.
right? It's your
Ooh.
thing.
Get it.
I've been trying to help you guys
Okay.
out. I've been trying to help you guys out.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
So now, hot tops.
Yes, indeed.
So, so I picked this one for a hot topic only because of how it ended. So recently, a Portland school district almost had a school shooting. However, the coach, I think his name is Lloyd.
Keenan Lowe.
Yes, he disarmed the student and gave him a hug.
Yeah.
And I remember we were talking about our last hot topic, how the judge gave the defendant a hug. And I'm like, you know what? This is like night and day. She hugged him. Well, she hugged her because, you know, she's going off to jail, and because of how the brother, you know, embraced her. And then he's hugging him to like heal the pain that he feels and why he wants to shoot, or why he feels depressed, or why he wants to commit this crime. And I'm like, look at us. Like, we're so compassionate.
We are. It had, so I guess the incident happened in May. Yeah. And just recently the footage came out.
Because he just got sentenced.
Right. Yeah, because he's been in jail. But they say he's not going to do any time. Yeah. He's going to do like 36 months of either probation or like a
probation,
program.
And he has to get mental health treatment because apparently he was not trying to shoot up the school. Apparently he was going to commit suicide
because he was suicidal. The school district is
that
very...
was a big gun.
That was a very big gun.
The school district is very upset that the footage has been released. I'm like,
really? Yeah. I feel like it's a good thing.
No.
I mean, can you see him in the footage?
Yes.
But you can't like really make him out.
Tell
but they already have his face around him because
he got arrested.
Yeah, so his mugshot, but no, they're very upset.
What are they upset about? Because I feel like it's not... I don't feel like the focus, well, for me anyway, and for the people that I've been seeing posting it, it doesn't seem like the focus is on the student or the action. The focus is on
the coach,
how this coach
handled the situation.
Absolutely.
So I feel like it's a positive thing.
Part about this story for me is the lack of positive attention to mental health.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's what we should be talking about.
Because that was the root of why he did it. They said he was having a mental breakdown.
And that's why that hug meant so much for him.
Yeah,
because sometimes it's all they be needing,
and you can feel it. Like mind you,
I had chills.
No audio. We were at the bar looking at it. It was like, I don't know if it was the shots of Jose.
It probably was
the
shots, but
we were like,
not
emotional. Oh my God, my face is
and the coach said, "I was sent here to save you."
Yeah. He was like, "There's a reason why I was there in the room." But you're right. Like we just dismantle all that other stuff. We just look at what happened. But why did it happen? Right. We never look at the cause.
What led up to it?
I love what you said about the humanity. You know, the common thread of why we breathe.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I think we miss that a lot as people. It becomes all these other things that are assigned to us. Right. You know, these things that are not even real.
Right.
And then we miss the humanity in the moments.
It's true. It's very true. I agree.
That's what I liked about it.
It's actually getting me very emotional because it's like the poor boy. Like
I know.
He probably just, you can see like him, like he probably just broke down.
Sunk in his arms. Yeah. It was. Shout out to
and
that
it was a man. It was
the
a
most
man.
dramatic way. A shotgun.
Right.
It was huge too. Yeah.
And it was a man giving him that hug and giving him that what he needed in that moment. So I think that's is a positive.
Shout out to that Black king.
Apparently he had been already like doing like active shooter like training beforehand. So things just be working out.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. So shout out to that king.
Yes, Keenan Lowe. Shout out to him.
For him.
Yeah.
So I have the You Tried It of the week.
I can't wait to hear it because last week.
This one was, it was on my timeline. I seen it, so I reached out to the girl. Her name is Karen O_O. And she tweeted, "My patient's baby daddy proposed to her in the labor room. Baby had some complications, so I was monitoring him. Baby daddy, fiance meets me in the nursery, picks up his new baby, looks at me, looks at his baby again, and then says, 'Me and you probably make one just as cute.'" What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, I just said
it popped in my head. So I ain't gonna say it.
We speaking positive,
right?
But this guy ain't ish.
To speak positively about the situation, I don't know. I can't think of anything positive to say.
That's crazy. Like, that's disrespect.
That's so disrespectful and so bold of you to think that I'm going to be sitting here while I know you just had a whole baby and I'm going to entertain you. You think I'm going to entertain you?
And you just proposed to your baby mother.
And just proposed.
And ain't even like, oh, like we were together, like we having this kid, like I'm still single. You know how they try to pull that. Like literally proposed to her and then compare your child. Like, just woo.
You know what's so sad is that we don't know the foolery that goes on behind our backs.
Right.
And that is
She
so
probably
sad.
so happy.
Right. I got the ring in the room.
Whole time.
Her man
Whole
is
time.
out trying to finagle another woman. Like,
And another
stop,
baby.
Right.
Trying to
Stop
finagle another
embarrassing us. Please.
The lack of humanity in this makes me sad.
Right.
It breaks Black families down on so many levels. You know, a woman being disrespected on this level.
Right.
Then technically this baby already not even having a father. It speaks to me on such a visceral level.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
really
wild.
sad.
I was
It's
like,
really
what?
sad.
So I wrote her, I'm like, can I share this? She was like, absolutely. She was like, I was just so perplexed. Like, I didn't even know what to say.
Like, you don't
She
even
was
have
like,
a
I was
response.
shocked. Yeah. She was like, I would never think that anybody would say something like that. I'm like, I don't know, sis.
That's
she was
next
like,
level.
I want to quit. She was
That's
like, I'm ready
next
to
level bold.
quit. Yeah, that was real bold. So
Do better. That's
brother,
what we-
baby
that's what we
daddy,
gonna say.
fiance,
You tried
You
it.
definitely try.
Do better.
I gotta pray a little hard
I
now
don't know
for
if that
my
was
husband.
a try or an epic fail.
Right,
Like,
right. She
Wow.
was everything. It
All
was
of
all
it.
that.
Just do better, sir. Do
Goodness.
better.
Trell, you rooting for anybody Black this week?
I am. I'm rooting for Cheyenne Thomas, who was a postal worker out of Cali. So apparently, she found, I guess you could say, two missing girls who were missing. Two separate girls were missing. The first one was an autistic girl who had been missing, reported missing 2 days prior, and she happened to see her like wandering around, and she has a background in mental health, so she was able in working with autistic patients. So she was able to, help her and get her to safety. And then I guess another time,
Wow.
like within 2 weeks of each other, a little 3-year-old she found like wandering, that didn't speak English, wandering around the streets or whatever. So shout out to her because, and this goes into, I guess, the theme that we've been talking about for the last few minutes, humanity. Because she could have easily been like,
Minding my business.
I'm minding my business, but she did what she needed to do to get these children to safety, and thank God that they both, the autistic young girl and the little kid, trusted her to come. I guess the little 3-year-old like ran up to her and was like crying.
Aww.
And
She's a guardian angel.
Yeah,
Right. She had that light on
Twice
her.
in a row.
Yep. So she got pinned by the National Society for Letter Carriers for her bravery.
nice.
So shout out to her.
Yes, clap it up for
Cheyenne
her.
Thomas.
That's
We
a
like
blessing.
to see more
That's
things
scary.
like this. But
Oh,
again,
gosh.
another Black woman coming to the rescue.
Always. We always have our cape on.
We're super.
Always.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we're superheroes.
Always.
Black
Always.
girl power.
Yes.
Black girl
It's
magic.
true.
Yes.
Yes. So we are going to cut to commercial break. So you guys take a listen and we will be back talking women's health.
Yo, this is your boy Franco,
And it's your boy Ray D, a.k.a. The Pod God.
and we are the host of Dad's Talking Shit podcast.
We're going to say Dad's Talking Shit podcast. Let's just say Dad's Talking Shit.
You right.
We know it's a podcast.
You right. We're a podcast that talks about everything and anything. Anything from pop culture to politics to social justice to
Sports,
our children.
livelihood.
This podcast is definitely not for solely dads.
No, it's for women as well. We got a lot of mom, dads out here anyways. Mothers taking the place of fathers, so.
I was going to say, wait, mom, dads. That doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
it does. Mom, dads.
Pretty much this podcast for anybody and everybody. So you can check us out on all major streaming platforms, iTunes, Speaker, iHeartRadio. You can also follow us on all social media platforms.
Instagram.
I didn't even say Dad's Talking Shit. With Dad's Talking Shit,
Instagram.
Dad's Talking Shit,
Facebook.
Dad's Talking Shit,
Twitter.
Dad's Talking Shit.
And it's our Gmail.
Yeah, you can Gmail us. All right, y'all. Tune in.
Salute.
Salute.
All right, we are back talking women's health. And before we start, we have a letter from one of our listeners. She's a great, amazing person that we actually met on social media. To talk about her healthcare journey, and it's going to lead us into our topic. So here it goes. It's no secret that Black women and their health concerns aren't always taken seriously. In 2014, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression. However, I'd have highs and lows, literally a day apart. I'd asked if I were bipolar and was told no, since I didn't have any erratic behaviors. I switched doctors, feeling as if my concerns weren't being acknowledged. In 2018, 4 years later, I had a manic episode and was told I never should have been prescribed the medication that I was on. This year, I felt as if I was on the verge of another manic episode and went to the ER. I was referred to a psychiatrist and was finally, 5 years and several doctors later, properly diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder. 2 weeks later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It sounds weird, but I already knew before I received the phone call with my results. I had self-detected and, of course, went straight to Google. One of the 2 tumors were painful and the other one grew rapidly. I had triple negative stage 3 breast cancer in my right breast. The only snag in my journey has been waiting to get approved for Medicaid. Other than that, my team of doctors have been more than amazing and have put a rush on my treatment. They make sure that I have all of the information that I need in order to be prepared. All of the hair on my head fell out 2 weeks after starting treatment, just as I was told. But I'm blessed for the most part. I've experienced a little nausea and I'm fatigued. I had a brief experience with thrush or cancer sores, but quickly figured out how to remedy it since it affects my ability to eat. Other than that, I've been fine. I refuse to let my diagnosis get the best of me. So I try to live as normal as possible. I still work when I can. I'm blessed with a very understanding employer who has been more than accommodating. And the biggest blessing of all has been the community of women, family, friends, online friends, who have rallied around me. Women have gone out of their way to offer emotional and financial support. It's very humbling to see just how many people care about my well-being. It definitely makes this journey easier to navigate. I hope that by sharing my story, I'm able to help someone who may be going through something similar. I want you to know that you're not alone. Signed, Carla. Super amazing girl. We actually met her on social media, and she wrote about the diagnosis, and she does different posts saying, you know, today wasn't as good of a day. Like, she's sharing her journey with others because she says she's not going to let it defeat her or who she is, and she wants to be a blessing. But there's so many things to unpack in this, right? So the first thing was the fact that she went to the doctors and she felt like she wasn't being heard or listened to. And we wanted to talk about that, as far as you having to be your advocate or fight for yourself or be the angry Black woman when you say, no, this is something that is wrong with me.
Now, I've been in healthcare for 23 years. I'm a nurse practitioner.
Right.
And I encounter this now to this day.
Wow.
I am not listened to. When I advocate for myself, I am the angry Black woman. Even though you're not raising your voice and you're not angry, people are telling you to calm down. Why are you upset? Okay. And I go through that. When we talk about things like this, it really makes me think of the Black maternal health rate that everyone, you know, it's like just a fad thing to discuss now, right? And why? The root of the why is what's not being discussed, which I find very frustrating. Black maternal health happens because people don't hear us. It happened to Beyonce. It happened to Serena Williams. They almost died. And these are powerful women who have money, power, and privilege.
Right.
So then why?
Right.
If it's not the money and it's not education, then why? It's because we're marginalized. It's because we're not looked at equally.
It's true.
All lives matter sort of thing, you know?
And I think also because we just talked about, like, oh, we have our cape on, we're the strong Black woman. Our symptoms aren't, it's like, oh no, you'll be good.
Right.
You'll be all right.
It's like we
because
can deal
you
with
got it.
Right.
You're still working, you're still doing your thing, because they'll say, like, oh, well, did you go to work? Oh, yeah,
through it.
I'm still going to go.
Still got to push through.
But
Like, what else are you going to do?
Right.
Lose everything?
Sit home and mope.
Right.
So what can a patient do when those things happen? Like, if you feel like you're not being heard and you feel like they're not listening to what I'm saying, like, what are different things that they can do?
So every boss has a boss.
Right.
That's the first thing you should know. That doctor has a boss. I have a boss. Everybody has a boss. Talk to somebody above that person.
Right.
And if you still feel like you're not being heard, there's the state ombudsman, there are practice organizations, there's all sorts of resources available to you to file complaints so that you can be heard. In the real time, there's always somebody managing someone.
Right.
So go up the chain of command. And trust me, if you write a letter to a hospital administrator or a administrator of a facility that you had some horrible, poor experience and you think it's about your race and you're going to put it on social media, somebody will be reaching out to you.
Absolutely.
Within like not even 24 hours.
Absolutely.
I've seen it. Yeah.
But we've also seen how the black gold, the black dollar, right, is a thing.
Yes.
It is.
And that was because of Black women being tired of not having hair care products for us and makeup for us. So our voice is more powerful than we know. And social media makes it a wave of voices.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. And, you know, it's kind of overwhelming when you go to a doctor's office. Or it's like, I don't think they know what they're talking about, but I'm not the one with the degree. I didn't go to school for this.
Right.
So it's like I have to trust what they say.
You know your body better than anybody else.
It's true. And doctors are figuring it out too. They don't have the answer.
Honestly.
It's like trial and error. And people don't realize that. Like sometimes you have residents or you have students that are learning
just
as they're
go.
seeing you. Right.
Yep.
So never think that, oh, the doctor said it, so it's fact.
Right.
It's an educated guess
Right.
based on the science that we study in school.
Right.
But think about that science. Think about who paid for that science, who are the participants in the study that garnered this information. Besides the Tuskegee experiment,
Right.
the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, how many experiments really have a high percentage of minority people?
Right.
So
That's true.
I say do your research. I look at Google reviews when I'm going to a healthcare professional.
Yeah.
I want to know what everybody else is saying too.
I like that you mentioned that because I don't feel like people do their research enough. Like when they're going into the hospital for treatment or even just looking for like specialty care, I don't think they, go on the company website, see what they're saying on the website, look at the reviews, like you said,
How they're ranked.
talk to other people who've gone to these doctors and get different,
Perspectives.
so you can make an informed decision. Just like when you're deciding where you want to go have a baby,
That's true.
where you're going to put your kid in for childcare. I think the same thing should apply when you're going to the hospital for treatment.
It's true. I definitely agree. And we get so accustomed to that hospital. It's like, oh, I was born there. My mother always took me there.
Right.
So
Everyone
this is just
goes
the best
there.
of the best.
Right.
Like I'm just gonna always go there.
Right.
When that might not be the
It
case.
might not be the best for your care.
Right.
The care
Especially
that you
it's
need.
different types of care.
Yeah.
But I think this is the problem with our community. I think we spoke about this on our episode previous, that because of how we're being treated, we're not going to the doctors. And we're detecting stuff that's wrong with us later on when we could have detected from the beginning.
It's true.
Right, because they don't trust. Especially the older generation.
Right.
They're not very trusting of the medical personnel, which is why it is such a great thing when you start seeing more Black doctors and Black nurses. I'll say Black doctors and stuff too, because I think that's probably more
Effective.
it makes you feel better when you're a doctor, but not to say that the nurses don't matter, but I think we see a lot more of that than we do in the higher up positions.
It's true.
People that's actually, making your diagnosis and prescribing you medication. I think you're more likely to go and listen to them.
Right.
But even still, you still got to advocate for yourself still, even
Right,
with
'cause you
having a Black
trust
doctor.
they have your best interest at
Right.
heart.
And they understand where you're coming from, right?
I got to say, when I walk into a room and a patient of color sees me, they're usually relieved. They have this,
You can see the
they relax like, oh, she looks like me.
Right. She has me.
Yeah.
I think it makes it
It's
easier
different.
for them to talk to like a woman coming in who's dealing with something that her white peer may not have any experience with. It makes it easy for her to talk to you because, hey, she might actually know and can understand what it is that I'm dealing with.
Or even
it makes a huge
how
difference.
the patient describes it. The white doctor may not understand how the lingo
The
or
lingo.
how she's trying to describe her symptoms or what she's going through.
That's a great point.
That
That's a
is.
great point.
There
The-
are,
the language.
I think there's a shift in medicine in general that's happening because of the Black mortality rate where, diversity and inclusion is starting to become a part of their curriculum.
Yeah.
Understanding different cultures and intersectionality and different sexual orientations, it's becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas you could just live in your marginalized world and look through those filters, I think people are being held to higher standards.
And I respect it. You're right. I work in a hospital too, and diversity and inclusion has been like the magic words for a few months now. Like they have different events, and they're like giving away trips to Florida if you do these. I guess it's like little like check marks. Like you have to have dinner with a family of a different religion than you.
Oh.
Go to a different religious church, or shadow a day with someone that's Jewish. They have like all these different things, and you get raffled to win this prize. Like, I think because us as Black people, or just people that aren't the majority, and we are the minority, because we are starting to speak up and saying like, no, this isn't right. They're like creating all this stuff for us.
The fact that we're creating this stuff in 2019 just makes me laugh.
There is now a title, Diversity and Inclusion Officer.
Right. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole job. It's a whole, like, they have a whole department on just diversity and inclusion.
I mean, if not now, then when?
Right. You're absolutely right.
This is very true.
I appreciate it.
So,
we need it.
Will come.
We wanted to talk about where you work, Planned Parenthood. Let us know what services they provide. There's such a stigma on Planned Parenthood, and that's all just for abortions. Like, everybody just goes there to get an abortion. But explain to the people, where you work, what you guys offer.
What services?
Sure. The Title 10 and the gag rule and everything that's happening in the media and with this administration, I think people who want to defund Planned Parenthood are not understanding because they don't have skin in the game. It doesn't impact them.
Right.
They don't go and get their pap smear and their mammogram and their STD testing and screening and their PrEP to prevent HIV transmission. They don't come to us. Right. They just think that women use Planned Parenthood to get abortions. And I know when I was a young girl, I went to Planned Parenthood for my primary women's health care. A lot of young Black and brown girls, boys, transgender minorities, I could keep going. They don't fit anywhere else, but they fit at Planned Parenthood. Right. We have the questions, and we ask an array of sexual orientation on our questionnaire. It's not just male, female. It's transgender, non-binary. Like, we hold space for all of the people. It's That's not important. Just, one person or another. And when we talk about women's health, for me, I'm also talking about trans women health.
Absolutely.
And this is one space. This womanhood is one space. They are a part of our womanhood. And that's how Planned Parenthood shows up.
And that's very, very important, because now that I think about it, my primary is like a private primary. I think it's 3 males and 1 nurse practitioner that's a woman. And you're right. Like, if you were to see a transgender person go there, I know for a fact you'll see his head spin. He's he's an African man, and then you have 2 other white men, and they probably would like lose their shit.
What do we do?
Yeah, and
like, we don't know how to treat this
but
person.
to be able to have a safe space for everyone to be able to go, I think that's very important.
Transgender men need pap smears.
Right, and it makes them want to go and get treatment, because people don't go to the doctor because it's like they're not going to understand me, or I don't trust them. Like, people are like dying just because they are afraid to go to the doctor because they don't,
or they have such negative experiences. Just that being trans in and of itself, is a very marginalized experience in the LGBTQ community, and then to be Black and trans, all those intersections of minority, I am so proud that I work for an organization where everyone can just be who they are.
Yeah.
Like, truly.
That's good.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because it's not so many companies around that accepts everyone.
I know.
I'm thinking, like, and we have a lot of prominent healthcare in New Haven. And I'm like, you're
Still got a lot of work to do.
And it's so hard to actually find a health primary care facility. I don't even have one right now. And I need to find one because it's so hard.
Do that, Joanne.
I know.
Right.
We're telling people that
I know.
Take care of themselves.
No, because I switched insurance companies.
Oh, right.
Well, it's hard to then find a provider that you trust, that you think will take good care of you.
Trust. Are they in network? Are they not in network? What's my copay if I go to this one versus that one?
Are they going to see
elements.
me?
Yeah, because one thing in that letter, then she said was hard to get the Medicare, the coverage to even pay.
Yep. That was her
getting them to pay for the surgery, I think.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother
authorization.
Yeah, that's a whole nother element. But that's part of our health and why, we don't go and we don't do the things we need to do.
We don't have the money. Right.
But one of the things I also want to highlight is the fact that she self-diagnosed her breast cancer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was one of the things I wanted to speak about. A lot of the young girls that I see when I talk about self-breast exam, they don't do it or they don't know how to. And it's this ownership of your body, you know, that they're brave enough to come in and get STD testing is a wonderful thing. But then the self-care, the constant self-care that you need to do. So yes, please, women, 14 days after your period, please do your self-breast exam.
And I can honestly say I never do.
No?
No, I'm
It's
really
so
bad
easy
with
in the
it.
shower.
I don't do it
You
myself.
just do the arm thing and then you
Danny said she
do the
does
tiny
it.
circles.
I do it.
See, when my boobs are bigger, I'm like, I'm not doing this. It's just
Like,
way
I don't
too
know what
much.
I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You can
Right,
do it laying
but now
down
I
in
can-
bed
now
at
I'm good,
night.
Yeah.
No,
before
I
you go to
definitely do
sleep.
it.
Let me
That's true.
check. And also, you need to check
Underarms.
in your axillary area.
Yeah, people
In
don't
your
know that part
underarm.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do it because I found a lump in my breast when I was in college, but it was benign and I had to go to Smilo. I was so nervous. I didn't tell my mom because my mom she overreacts. So
Julian.
so I told my aunt and I was like, what should I
What if she
do?
told somebody?
I told
Right.
someone and I was like, what should I do? And I had to go to my doctors that I usually do my PAPs with, and she did the test, and then she referred me to Smilo. So now I have to go every year, and I, do it all the time.
I remember I had saw on social media a while back, this dude had posted how I don't know what they were doing, but he was with a girl or whatever, and he ended up
Doing
finding
the test.
he found the lump and she sent to the
Yes,
doctor.
I saw that.
And she went to the doctor and she did have, a lump. I don't remember if it was cancerous or not, but she did have a lump, but he found it.
Yeah, and was like, you need to go to the doctor.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I did see that. I think
Like,
they were
that's-
like having sex or something.
Right.
Yeah,
He was
like
feeling
he was
God.
he
Yeah.
stopped.
Was
He
like,
stopped,
Hold
right.
up, sis.
And he was like, I had to take I could have
Shout
just
out to
ignored
him.
it because I wanted to get what I wanted in that moment. But, look what happened. Like, I'm helping her. I helped her save her life, basically.
Right. Yes.
Shout out to him.
I remember
know, right?
that.
Yes.
I remember that.
That just made me think about it.
Yeah, so
Men-
it's definitely important.
Men too.
We need your need your help with this.
Check your ladies' breath.
Since y'all love them so
Teamwork
much.
makes the dream work.
Right.
I love that.
It's so true. It's so true. So we wanted to discuss breast cancer since it is October, Breast Cancer Month, and the effect that it has specifically on Black women. Do you see that it's more so in us? Do you see that the dying rate is more so with us as far as, because of treatment and things like that?
Detection.
The detection. A lot of the times we discover it further along in the process. Shout out to Rosa Rodriguez. She's the awesome breast navigator who navigates care for women who, when they then test positive, and gets them free care. So in a lot of our health centers across Planned Parenthood, we have the breast and cervical cancer screening program where when you are tested and if we do find something, we can get you treatment and help. Wow. Yeah.
That's
What's
a
up?
blessing.
I read on the Susan G. Komen website that we are affected by it less, but we have the higher mortality rate.
Like with
Which
everything.
is
Says
crazy.
it says a lot. It says a lot.
It affects us the least, but we're dying more.
Because we don't have the
Have the
same
proper
resources.
healthcare.
I think I was rooting for a cancer center not so long ago. Forgive me because I forget what it was called, but I remember it was in Philly, and they were providing like support services for patients, just to have a support system, going with them to appointments, helping them find resources because we don't be having it.
Yeah.
We don't have it, and that's why we're dying a lot more than everybody else.
And I think researching it. Like, who has time from working, getting off of work, going to pick up the kids, going
Cooking
home to
dinner,
cook, making sure you're helping with them with homework, to then go on a laptop and say, okay, let me research this.
But also what you're talking about speaks to the support system. Do you have somebody who's going to take you to chemo and pay your bills while you're getting sick and do all of these
Can you
things?
get the time off of
I think a
work?
lot of times we brown and Black people say, I found this lump, but then I don't want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time
If
for
you
that.
don't
I don't
know,
have
right.
time to be sick. I don't have the money to be sick. And at the cost of our lives.
Sad. It's sad that that's like the first thing. I was watching Grey's Anatomy, I think last week, and the lady, she had like a black lady had a lump on her neck, and the doctor was like, "You need to go get this checked out." And she first thing is like, insurance came up, and if I lose my job, I need to go to work, but if I lose my job, how am I gonna pay for this? I don't got the money. That's like the first thought. It's not even like, you know what, let me sit down and figure out how I can get better. Is I gotta go to work because how am I gonna pay for it?
We don't put ourselves first.
Ever.
But a part of this, a part of the Black maternal health, a part of the poor outcomes for disease processes in general is the general stress level we live under just being brown and Black people. Mm-hmm. So we don't even get a pause to be sick.
No. Right.
Like, we're not given the same grace for our employer, except me. Planned Parenthood's great.
I need a job.
You know, like,
yeah.
I'm really lucky. But we don't speak to that. We don't speak to the underlying cause. Like, why do we have so much hypertension? It's because we release more cortisol, triggering us for it because we live under such stress.
Right.
It's true. And those stresses add on high blood pressure and
Diabetes,
more health issues,
cancers,
so many different health.
weight.
Yeah,
I could keep going.
It's a ripple effect, right? Yeah. Exactly. And you're right. It's basically, and it's literally stress because of who we were born.
Oh, not just that, the epigenetics of it. The fact that the trauma from our history is in our DNA.
I read that somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Here like, dang.
It's like we're set up for failure.
We are.
This is a reality.
Yeah.
You know, we are, I read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And really, it's how much you buy into this system. You know, like, being Black is a construct of society. Right. When I was a little girl in Jamaica, I didn't know I was Black. Everybody was Black. It wasn't a thing. And I came here and I became Black.
Right.
But that's here. That's not in Africa. That's not in Jamaica. That's not in all these other places with brown people. Yeah. And the stress of being Black in America is killing us.
It's true. It's true. And we have to not give it so much power too. We have to create our own dynamics. We have to change the narrative within ourselves so we can at least be sane day to day.
At the very least.
Yeah.
The only reason for the narrative to affect you is if on some level you believe it's true.
That's a good
If you don't accept the truth of it, what does it matter? If somebody walks up to you and says some false thing, you're just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Right. That's not who I am.
Right. So if society doesn't get it and you get it, you just disengage.
That's true. That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Look, we're all saying like,
Can you speak about fibroids? Because that's something that affects Black women quite often and at like a young age. So can you speak about that a little bit?
Uterine fibroids are a non-cancerous fibrous growth that happens in the uterus. It makes us prone to anemia because we bleed more. It affects our birth outcomes because sometimes it can block the birth canal, or some uterine fibroids are hormone dependent, so they will grow as the baby grows, displacing the room for the baby to grow. So if you know you have uterine fibroids, there is surgery, there's ablation, there's all sorts of treatments that can protect your ability to still conceive, but also give you good quality of life that you can explore. Of course, that depends on your access to insurance and all of these other things.
Right. Yeah.
What are some signs that you can look for, that you can recognize yourself before having to go into the doctor and waiting to get an exam for them to point it out?
If you're having periods that last more than 7 days and it's heavy bleeding all the way through your period, and then 2 weeks, a week later, your period is back, irregular periods, heavy periods, heavy menstrual cramping. These are all signs of uterine fibroids.
Pay attention, ladies. Pay attention.
Yeah, but you know, that's so, like, for some, it's like, that's just the normal. Yeah.
But there is normal and abnormal. Like, the longest a period should last is 10 days.
Yeah.
That's too long.
I think that's a very long time.
Yeah.
I think being older, I find myself paying attention to it more, like my cycle, how I feel around that time, like ovulation. Like, I didn't think about ovulation before. I also was on birth control for God knows how long. I haven't been on birth control maybe in over a year. And since I've been paying attention more. I know when I'm ovulating. I don't think we pay attention to that stuff. Like we just say,
no,
oh, it's gonna come on this day, and then that's that. We don't pay attention to how heavy we're bleeding, how long it's lasting, how we feel.
But we live in a society with so much technology. Like I am in a lot of rooms with women, and I'm like, when was the first day of your last period? And they're like, I have no idea. I'm like, there's an app. Come on,
and that's
download it on your phone right now. Let's do that.
But now it's like, let me pull out my app.
It will track how long your period lasts, whether or not it's heavy.
Right.
Haley, my friend Haley was like, look, you better download this app, and it tells you when you ovulate. And it's so funny because it's like, I'm feeling a little risky.
And then you go on the app.
Like, oh,
that's why.
I used to live and die by the app, but then I was like, oh, I don't need to track my period. I'm like, I'm not using this thing anymore.
It's still a great
it's a thing.
I was like, I think, because you forget, because I was like, why do I feel like this? Like, why is my stomach hurting so bad? And I'm like, oh, you know what? Tomorrow's my highest ovulation day.
It can track your mood. It can identify, are you having seasonal affective disorder? Are you having that, the depression that only comes around your menstruation?
Let me get that.
I try. Kind of testing. I use Flow, but I'm kind of testing out another one to see how I like it. But that's what I'm working on, because I do sometimes forget to every day, even when it's not my period, how I'm like to go through and check off like the how you're feeling, so that it can get a good sense of and give you accurate information.
That's true.
We talk a lot about women's health, but we don't talk about mental health for women as if it is separate. We are. It's all in one. It's all one package.
We posted that on our social media. That conversation needs to be just as normal.
Yes.
As health. Regular, right?
Yeah,
it's all relevant.
Yeah, and it all intertwines with each other. That's true.
Did you notice how she mentioned you feeling depressed around your period? Like, is it just because it's around your period, or is there something else going on? Like, you gotta pay attention to what's happening when.
Right. That's true.
I never noticed that.
I never thought about
whether or not I'm feeling down or depressed around my period. But I think I have such a good period experience. Like, I don't get cramps. Before I know I'm getting my period, I may get a little throbbing lower back or my boobs, but that's it.
Yeah, I have a pretty good, I always have, but even more so lately, I think it's been pretty good. However, the ovulation has been kicking my butt these last couple months for some reason.
So I was like trial and error with different birth controls. I was on one. I'm like, oh my God, the cramping is horrible. I'm getting off of this. Then it was like, I don't want to do the pill. I don't want anything inserted in me. So then my guidance counselor, my gynecologist, he's like, try this one. And it's been amazing. I think it's called Mylan. And it's 3 months. And then you get your period.
Ooh.
And if I wanted to make it 6 months, and then I can do that too. This is good, but it's
3 months, but how long does your period last?
I don't know. I haven't had it yet.
Oh, okay. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep you guys updated.
Keep you updated on the cycle.
I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, this is my first time getting it for the last 3 months. Like, we'll see what happens.
What if
I will also answer this question, which I get a lot. Women will ask me, aren't you supposed to have a period? It's really a choice. Because we have the science that can stop you from getting a period. It doesnn't harm your body if you don't get a period. You just don't get a period. I'm one of the women who don't ever want to get a period. I'm okay with that. But it's a choice. Some women want to bleed.
And thank you, because I was like, dag, if I do double up and don't get one for 6 months, like, that's abnormal. I should be at least having 4 in the year.
No. When I was on a depot, because that was like my favorite birth control. Some people was like still have their period. I didn't have no period, no spot, no that, and I loved it.
Does it have to double up?
Does it affect you wanting to have kids or having kids? No. Oh.
The only purpose for your period is to shed the lining because a baby didn't get made.
Right.
That's all that is.
I'd be like, you have backed up.
Yeah, that's all it is. It has no functional use, so your body gets rid of it. Yeah.
Well, then.
So what the birth controls do is they prevent the lining from ever building. And think about it. What do you need it for? You're not making a baby. So.
It might have been, but
I'm trying to.
Shout out to the pill. Because these 3 months have been lit.
Well, I can use it then because I'm not making a baby over here.
Yeah, but it wasn't just because of baby making, but it was also because I did have a heavy flow. So they're like, and anemic. Everything you just said. Right. So it's been Much better. Yes, indeed. So let the people know where they can follow you if they have any questions, things like that.
So I have no social media handles.
That's a blessing.
That is good.
I saw you guys did ask. All of my social media is just like family, friends. I don't.
I know
I'm
that's
old.
right. Mm-hmm.
I'm in my 40s. That wasn't a part of my generation.
Yeah.
But I think I probably need to do that now.
Well, because to see a Black woman in your position getting your doctorate, like, it's dope.
I'm realizing,
It's super
I think
dope.
I'll make one for my professional life.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. If
Yeah.
you have a question, email us and we'll be the
Honestly,
third party.
we need to see more of you.
Yes.
Definitely.
You guys can have
It's
me
magic.
on anytime you want. Yeah, I knew I was going to totally enjoy. After watching some of your content, I was like,
so
I am
nervous.
so going to enjoy these women.
We were like, wait, which one you watch?
Right.
Because we're an experience.
We are an experience.
we are
No,
a little
you're beautiful, intelligent Black women having conversations that I have with my sisters and girlfriends. I totally could relate.
I like
I
that.
totally understood
that.
it once I watched it.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
not
enjoyed
ratchet.
this conversation. It was definitely much needed.
Yes.
Um,
And there'll be more conversations like this to come because obviously we never get to really touch everything that. So, stay tuned.
stay tuned.
And if anybody has questions, they can send it to you guys. I'd be happy to answer it.
Yeah.
for
So if
you.
you guys have any questions you want us to ask Miss Nicole, let us know.
Indeed. So we have a few church announcements. This Thursday, we'll be having our Facebook Live, our monthly Facebook Live. We know this isn't the last Thursday, but we know, Halloween and people are going to be out with their kids or whatever. So we pushed it up a week. So the 24th Thursday, make sure you guys tune into our Facebook. It's #ThaTeam podcast. And then we have our happy hour, our booze and booze happy hour. That's going to be on Saturday the 26th. So make sure you come out. We're going to do some karaoke. It's going to be a really fun time.
Yes, come out and rep your class. We're collaborating with the Hampton High class of 2000. So come out any school, any year, and just rep. Come
07
see your classmates you haven't seen in a while.
Right. Absolutely. And then we have the shout out to Oh So Fabulous Events for having the Fabulosity Gala, which will be on the 27th at the Waterbury Palace Theater. Get your tickets at fabulosity.eventbrite.com. I'm excited. My dress came in. I got to bring it to the cleaners to get steamed. I was going to put a split in it, but I'm just going to keep it real regal.
Well, I got a split in my
I'm excited. I'm excited.
got a
Joanne
slip for
Joanne orders a dress today and sends a screenshot and it's the same exact dress that I ordered.
And already told us
that I said I was ordering. But that's another story for another time.
I'm the clueless one because honestly, I don't pay attention, and I don't remember her ever putting that picture in the group chat. So when I went to go verify what she sent, I just saw that she ordered it from a different.
It was wrong.
From a different location than where I got my dress. I was like, oh, I'm safe because the same color, but it's different store. But then I sent her a picture. Something told me to send her a picture. She was like, I was waiting for her to text me back.
I'm like, I didn't
that's
text back.
cute.
'Cause I'm like,
you was annoyed.
no, I was like, I don't know if she's sending me the picture like this is what you're getting, or is she trying to tell me that she just ordered the same exact dress?
Right. So when I came in here, I had to order another dress. But the whole time that we're doing this show, I'm kind of thinking maybe that's a little too much. Maybe
It's not. You're fine.
A little.
I like it.
More.
Right?
Thank
Yeah.
you. I need to go a little bit more conservative.
Bye, girl.
Anyway,
you
get
are
y'all,
young
get y'all
ones.
fits.
Enjoy your young body. I done told you this.
She did. And she said, take pictures of your young body so that you can reminisce later.
Yes, health tip.
Health tip. Take pictures and
46
print
looks
them.
very different. 46 looks very, yes.
You lying.
No,
You
I'm not.
lying.
You? I did not think you were 46. Oh my God. You look amazing.
great.
And you have
Black don't
gorgeous.
Black, so I was just about to say it.
And you have gorgeous skin.
Yeah,
This is
you do.
Mac. This is Mac.
Pop
You
it.
still have gorgeous skin.
Right.
Right.
Trust me.
It's smooth.
People put makeup on, you could tell.
You can
see the
tell
bumps
you
in
have
the hair.
gorgeous skin.
Wow, really?
Thank you.
Oh my God. Black definitely don't crack.
It does not.
But we
Melanin
know this
says
already.
anything.
Wait, we noticed, but we always be surprised.
Right.
We're always surprised.
Go ahead, girl. All right, Jill.
I was actually carded the other day.
Oh, good.
I was like, wow.
That's a blessing right now.
Right.
You get excited when you
Yes.
I was like, really?
Yes, I do get excited.
I had a scripture, but I must have deleted it. But I have something else more. Just a reminder Don't let what you see make you forget what God said.
Say that again for the people in the back.
So don't let what you see make you forget what God said. So listen to his word, but don't go by what you see. Because what you see will just deter you from what it really is and what God already has said.
That's a blessing.
That's a word.
That's a word.
Yeah. She been having a sermon.
Wow. No, because I've been in this manifestation, and I'm like, everything that I speak has come to pass, and I'm like, I need to speak like abundance.
Yes, sis.
You
and
do realize you have the power of God in your tongue.
I do know this, but it's been like, as of recently, like I've spoken people up. No, I didn't forget, but it's just like, wow. Well, you know what I probably think? I probably like, I am so filthy in sin.
That he ain't
God,
not
you're still listening
Are you?
to me? Yeah, I think so.
No, you're not.
Compared to the rest of us.
Right.
Remember, you're either living under the law or you're living under grace. You can't live under both.
I know.
You're under grace.
God
already knows.
I'm definitely under grace.
Make your
Okay.
I'm definitely under grace every day. Let me tell you, the other day I lost my debit card, and this is like, this is all the time. God, I'm really like under the blood. So I went to a restaurant and I missed the first parking lot, and the person was like, "Why did you miss the first parking lot?" I was like, I can just go park in the back. So then I went to the mall after, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have any money." And the person paid for anything, but I'm like, later that day, I was like, where is my card? When I got back to the car, and I'm like, oh my God, I lost it. So then something in my spirit was like, go back to the restaurant. So I went inside. I've been calling them all day. They didn't pick up. And when I went there, she was like, oh no, we didn't find it. So I was like, you know what? Let me go in the back. So I went in the back to where I parked, and my card was like sitting right there. I was like, to God be the glory.
Right, because nobody took it.
Right.
And pay attention and buy you a wallet.
Well, I was at a gas station, and the attendant gave my card to someone else.
Oh my goodness.
And they came back. They brought it back.
Wow.
And didn't spend anything on
That's
it.
good.
To God be the glory.
To God be the
Amen.
glory.
So, you guys, we hope you had a wonderful time listening to us. Make sure you follow, rate, subscribe, review, all that fun stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yes, we love you. Thank you for listening. Miss Nicole, thank you for coming.
Yes,
Thank you so
thank
much
you.
for
sharing
having
your
me.
wisdom.
Yes.
And until next time.
Toodles.
Bye, guys.
Bye.